I don't want to be here right now. I really don't. But I promised that I'd review this piece of crap. It burns when I touch it. Please, don't even take my word for about how bad this movie is. Look at what the people on the back wrote. You see that? You don't see it? Oh. Okay. You see it now? Yeah. See what it reads? See what it reads? It reads, plenty of adventure and emotion. Plenty of adventure and emotion? That's all they had to say about this piece of shit? To think that most of my childhood was spent watching this sequel that can be only described as having only plenty of adventure and emotion, that I never watched the first one before I watched this one. This was the first one I watched. And after I saw the original movie, the good one, I hated this movie. And it's left that empty space in my childhood, and it's still there. The original All Dogs Go to Heaven by Don Bluth is a cult classic. In fact, it's my favorite animated movie of all time. How can you hate this movie? What's not to love about it? Dialogue is awesome. The animation is dark, fluid, and great. And the musical numbers? What can you say about them?
Charlie, tell him.
Oh, you can't keep a good dog down.
No, sir.
No, you can't keep a good dog down.
They're well thought out, they're catchy as hell, and of course, they're a ton of fun to listen to.
But even I've been jilted by a skirt.
He lied.
And finally, the characters are all complex, all along a complex story arc. The main character of the movie is Charlie Barkin, a German Shepherd who is a self-centered, gambling alcoholic gangster who is also a loan shark and is in every way a complete asshole. Charlie has a green-vested dachshund friend named Itchy, voiced by the hilarious Dom DeLuise. He also doubles as a hyper-competent sidekick.
Hey, I got him out. Yeah, I'm sorry, Charlie. I think that was...
Don't think. From now on, I'll think.
Okay, you think now. Whoa! Oh, Charlie, water mains are green. This is red.
You're colorblind. You've always been colorblind.
That's true, but this is green.
It's red.
Red?
But he's not always right either. Another thing I totally remember about watching this movie as a kid was the villain, Carface. This cigar-smoking bulldog ranks out a good number of Disney villains on the badass scale.
That is no way to treat an old friend. Friends must be handled in a friendly and businesslike way.
He's one mean son of a bitch, and everything he says he's totally serious about. Every inflection of his speech is a cue that he's going to do terrible, evil things. And to top it all off, he does this.
What can I help you push the car? Can I please?
Charlie!
Killer, shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Can't keep a good dog down.
As well as this,
You get to go to heaven.
and this. Eventually, however, Charlie rediscovers himself and becomes a good dog. That's all I'll explain about the first movie because I'm wasting time. So if you haven't seen the first movie, I'd see it. I'll be referencing it throughout my review, so it's a must. It's back on YouTube after a hiatus, but you can find it on other sites. Let us jump in to the sequel. Now that we're all comfortable, let's review this bastard and see why something so good turned into something that should be rotting in the 11th level of hell. Here we go. Remember, prolonged exposure to such bullshit can result in damaged TV or computer screens, so take extra precaution when viewing this. So after our familiar lion scares the piss out of all the little kids, we see that this movie begins with a telephone call? Unreal. I'm already 10 seconds into this movie, and yet already I'm questioning what the fuck's going on? How much can I take? So, meanwhile, in the middle of nowhere... So what, is this heaven? If it is, that's creative. Oh, please don't tell me that's Carface. God, I guess it is. He's scheming with what can be guessed as the villain when... Wait, what the phone wreck that burns his hands? Well, what?
Take that as a no.
Is that what call waiting's like in heaven? Carface searches for quarters for some reason and then flies away because obviously he's an angel. As red smoke comes out of the phone. Did the movie not think we knew who the villain was? So after whatever the hell that was, the title appears. And this time, it's not accompanied with gunshots, no! Instead, it just wants to be boring and predictable as shit as we take a cruise through the clouds. This is what you see before you die. I'll ignore these cliched dog angel things as we finally get to see Charlie and— OH MY GOD! What the hell is this? I can't see a damn thing. I still can't see a damn thing! This is the worst animation I've ever seen. It's like a fucking oil painting. Nothing pops out. Nothing is distinguished. It's a big smudge. Are you even trying? Remember when you were in elementary school and you had to make posters? And after you finished coloring your poster, your teacher said, outline it with a black marker? Remember how much that annoyed you? Do you remember asking yourself, why does this matter? Well, this is what happens! So marker it up! At least this movie doesn't have an inconsistency to the original. Wait a minute! Why the hell is Charlie palling it up with Carface? I mean, but you can't do, but it tried to kill him Ah! Alright, I guess I got my hopes up too early. This movie totally has an inconsistency to the first movie. Because it doesn't make a fuck ounce of sense! It makes about as much sense as if I took my jacket off through the rest of the fucking review! It's bullshit! Ugh. So who are the voice actors in this movie? Well, before I get into that, let's talk about the first movie's voice actors.